Canadians want action on illegal immigration. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. So let me get this straight. Even as we have thousands of people coming over the border illegally, even as refugee claims from Mexico skyrocket, there are almost 45,000 outstanding warrants to deport people. This is madness, and the bad news is Justin Trudeau has no plan to deal with it. Even as the new Reuters Ipsos poll shows, just shy of half of Canadians want the government to block people from coming here illegally. Now that's the good news. It shows more Canadians support our position of no illegals than oppose it. We've been calling on the government to stop the illegal border crossings and say no to illegal immigration for some time. Problem is, they aren't doing anything about it. In Manitoba, where we've heard so much about people crossing into the town of Emerson, more than 200 people have entered the tiny town illegally so far this year, leaving resources stretched, the town and the Premier asking for help, asking the feds to do something. Well, Premier Brian Pallister says he's asked the feds for help yet, but he hasn't gotten any. Meanwhile, the Reeve of Emerson, Greg Jansen, told CBC News that the profile of the people crossing over the border illegally is changing. Many border crossers this winter have been of Somali, Eritrean, and Djiboutian origin. That's now changed, Jansen said, and more are coming from South and Central America, including Nicaragua and Colombia. Well, that fact tells me that this is all part of a new human smuggling operation, where people pay to get close to the border, but they don't pay to be taken over anymore because they're being coached about the third safe country loophole that says you can stay if you cross into Canada between official points of entry. Meanwhile, our problem with Mexicans trying to get into Canada illegally is back. From 2005 to 2009, Mexico skyrocketed, became one of the top source countries for refugee claims. It peaked in 2008 with 9,500 claims. Well, then the Harper government brought in a visa requirement for Mexicans wanting to travel here. The Mexicans were outraged. They called it insulting, but that move dried up the flow of refugee claims. Now what we have, according to Reuters, is an increase in Mexicans being detained at the border. Let me quote from the story. The Canada Border Services Agency said it detained 444 Mexican nationals between January 1st and March 8th, compared with 410 in all of 2016, 351 for 2015, 399 for 2014. The CBSA can detain foreign nationals if it is believed they pose a danger to the public, if their identity is unclear, or if they're deemed unlikely to appear for removal or a proceeding. So those are just the people being detained. We also know that British Columbia in particular has seen an uptick in Mexicans arriving at border crossings and claiming refugee status. There are 72,000 Mexicans that have been granted an electronic travel authorization to come to Canada just since December 1st, 2016. I think this is the second phase of our growing illegal immigration and bogus refugee problem, and the government has no idea what to do about it. Remember, each of these people showing up from the United States entering illegally, we're filing a bogus refugee claim, eats up time, resources that could be helping real refugees fleeing war and oppression, not someone fleeing the picturesque Adirondacks. There is some good news, though, and I'm not talking about the 45,000 outstanding warrants. I'm talking about a poll, because despite the supportive slant of the stories coming from the mainstream media in Canada, more Canadians say they want the border protected than not. This new Reuters poll by Ipsos shows, well, they asked people about the issue this way. Thinking about immigration reform, please indicate if you support or oppose increasing the deportation of people living in Canada illegally. The results? 48% support deporting those in the country illegally. 23% oppose. 29% said they didn't know. They also asked this of those taking the survey. Hundreds of people, mainly from Africa, but also the Middle East, are crossing into Canada illegally from the United States because they say they fear Donald Trump's crackdown on illegal immigrants in America. What comes closer to your opinion? Canada should send these migrants back to the U.S.? Well, 48% agreed with that. Canada should accept these migrants and let them remain in Canada and seek refugee status. 36% agreed with that statement. 17% didn't know. The poll also found that 45% don't support the way that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is handling this situation, compared with just 37% who do. Now, despite the push by the media and activists like Lead Now and No One Is Illegal, Canadians are on our side. Help us keep the pressure on the Trudeau government to do the right thing. I want you to sign our petition at noillegals.ca. Make sure your friends and family know about this story by sharing this video and the petition online. Post it to Facebook, tweet it, email it, whatever you can do. That's noillegals.ca. Sign it and share it. To make sure you never miss a Rebel video again, click here to subscribe, or hey, do us a favor, share this on social media.